Hello. I thought it might be easier to show the pictures and then I can kind of circle and show what I'm talking about. And I don't have to write all my thoughts down in a text or whatever. So, this was the first picture that you sent me, and I scribbled out a whole bunch of notes. I hope that I can kind of make sense of them. I've done a lot of kind of feeling this out, energy work, and I think I've kind of narrowed it down. But I do want to let you know, um, in the spirit of a full foot reading, there is a lot going on here, and I won't take the time to read the entire feet, but I'll point some things out to you before we finish up that I'm seeing that we don't talk about. Okay, so this is the first picture that you sent me, and obviously, you're asking me about these big dark spots on her foot, and you can also kind of see some little residual ones at the top of the pelvis here. But what stood out to me in addition to that, there are two major things. The first one is kind of this bleaching or blanching of the skin that's happening in the upper digestive system. And then we have this fiery redness that's kind of crossing from upper into the lower digestive system. Now, when we get the other pictures, we don't see the bleaching or blanching, but we do definitely see kind of a hollow pitting in the upper digestive system. There's a bit of a something here. We won't go too into detail on that, but I think all these things are kind of playing together. We've got a little bit of puffiness on the spleen signal here, and I think that shows better on this. Oh, maybe not. I thought it showed better on this picture, but it's probably this one that I was thinking of. That you can just kind of see all in that area that it's kind of puffy. And again, all staring us in the face is this darker spotting on the pelvis signal. And so I think those are the three things that I want to focus on. And again, at the end, I'll point out a few things, and you can see what you feel there, and see if you can pick up on what those things might be. Okay, so first of all, let's just get right to it. The dark spotting, I think. Okay, so the dark spotting is right across the heel, and as owners, we're taught to look at, is it physical or is it emotional? If I were to ask about physical things, I'd be looking for something actually in the pelvis itself or the sciatic nerve. I'd be asking the client if they had any sciatic nerve swelling or leg pain or cramping, anything that would indicate some sort of problem here. And you might do that with her, follow up on that. But I do get a sense that this is a little bit more of an emotional issue and less of a physical issue. Now we have a few of the spots at the higher top of the heel, and I can't really tell from the picture. I think that's the heel line. Let me check over here. So we could possibly have one of the spots that's kind of in the digestive system and less in the pelvis area. But within our pelvis area, we hold our reproductive system. So this spotting on this foot is really kind of like there's a lot of energy there. It's not just one specific thing. It is kind of yelling from a couple of different viewpoints, I guess. This area, to me, because it's in the pelvis helps us move forward. It helps us walk. It is our progression. Then all the energy here would be revolving around um, your security and your ability to move forward or feel secure in the choices that you're making. And the left foot itself is all about our present experiences and the situations that we are currently going through. Um, if our current situations are not moving us forward to the future, or if we're feeling like a stuck kind of, we don't know what to do with our lives, or we don't know what choice to make, or we're stewing over something, this kind of energy loves to hang out in the pelvis area. And so, again, like I said, I'm feeling way more emotional stuff going on down here than I am physical. And I'm feeling like it has different stems. I'm feeling that it is coming from security, relationships, and it's also an accumulation of her own emotions, like her ability to manage these emotions and allow them to move and to process, I guess. So, but not to fear. I don't feel like this, especially these three dark spots, I don't feel like they are necessarily bad. The first energy that I saw here was a shift toward a more grounded vantage point. So I don't know what kind of work you've been doing with this client, but um, because she was unaware of this marking, tells me this is a new marking. And I would dare to believe that this is showing up for her because she is shifting. And this is a shift that needs to get her moving. It needs to increase her motivation. She needs to because of the left foot, I really feel like she needs to increase her feminine energy, her feminine presence in her energy. So we get feminine energy from things like creativity and arts, uh, expressing yourself, trusting, those kinds of things. And our masculine presence comes from things like working hard and going to a job and having a career and paying the bills and all the function things, that activity and the drive, the organizational things. Those are all masculine energies. And this is on the left foot, which tells me we need to increase those feminine energies. Um, how she is relating to spirit and to herself, how she's representing herself. This, and also an internal representation is vital here. We want a balance in those two energies. But again, I don't see this as super negative. If it is negative, I would say that the pelvis has probably become an area for her of supreme weakness. She might not be seeing like specific symptoms, but let's say on one day she has a really long day, she's on her feet a lot, and she's just, the day's dragging on. By the end of the day, I would say she might probably see a reflection of that in her pelvis. She might be like, oh, I've just got to sit down. My hips hurt so bad, or whatever it is. And she might also see an increase of that as she has an increase of stress. So all that excess stress is going to just start showing up in the pelvis area. But I guess I just want to really reiterate, like, this is something shifting. So if we can point her in the right direction, shifting to a balance in her feminine and masculine energies, then it's going to end up to be a good a good shift. We want it to shift good. Um, so yeah, again, like that is the most like staring you in the face kind of mark on the foot that you probably could see, but I don't feel like it's a permanent thing. I don't get a feeling that it's a super physical thing in her body. It feels more emotional and energetic to me. So I would work with her on really embracing all those feminine qualities and maybe giving up some of the control of some of the masculine issues and um, kind of letting her hair down a little bit, so to say. She just kind of needs to stop and enjoy the present and where she is currently, and that's going to help her shift in the right direction. The other two things that I mentioned, this kind of bleaching and then the fiery redness, all through the digestive system. So let's talk about the kind of bleaching first. So you sent me this picture and then you sent these other two later. And this one, you can sort of see it like from here. I'll let that go. And so see how you can see that line where I drew coming down there. Um, I'd be interested to get my hands on this foot if I was doing a walking drill across. Would I feel a change in texture here? Would it feel like a drop off in tissue texture? And that really kind of substantiates what you see with your eyes. Is does it physically feel like a hollowness? And this one shows it a little bit better and actually comes up into the solar plexus and comes all the way down. That whole area seems very hollow to me, very kind of dropped in, I guess. And the energy that I picked up on when I very first saw her first picture that you sent me, this as I was waiting for these other pictures and permission, um, what really shouted to me was a sad surrender that has to do with nurturing. And I don't know if that will make sense to her, but um, this is something that has started with her thought. They might not be hers, with somebody's thoughts and opinions, and mixed with her feelings and emotions. And it is directly affecting her upper digestive system. And we also, this is one of the things I wanted to point out to you that we won't completely read, but we'll touch on it a little bit because it goes with this, is we've got some puffiness through the spleen area. And so those two things combined um, make me think this is, so physically it's going to be affecting her with kind of a lack of energy, almost like she's feeling like a malnourishment, like malnutrition. Malnutrition. Sorry, tongue tied. Um, just that type of issue. It might not be something major, but maybe something smaller that she's dealing with. Some of the organs in this area are going to be kind of delicate, like they might be flighty or sporadic. I actually picked up on the energy of anemia, but when you come over here and you look across at the rest of our liver signal, um, you're seeing some nice plump tissue here. So I don't know if anemia is an issue, but just based on this very first picture with that bleaching right on the edge of the liver, I would definitely be asking her questions about it. And depending on what she's telling me about her health, I might be recommending that she's getting tested for anemia. Um, but emotionally, this is going to feel like a weakness in purpose. And um, although I primarily feel like this one is revolving around a I would say this one's revolving primarily around a career or a life action. Um, this one has some definite feelings of mothering and that need of more feminine energy. And it may be kind of at this internal fight. If she's working, maybe she's questioning whether she should, or maybe she's looking at working, or maybe she's looking at some life action that would take her from being a full-time mom. I don't know, but there's something that she is currently either involved in or trying to decide that is causing like this. I'll say guilt, but it could be more than just guilt. Um, let's see. Um, let's talk about the fieriness because it kind of comes in the same area. I like this picture the most because we can see there's the diaphragm line and then the pelvis. And so we've got this fieriness both in the upper digestive and the lower digestive. And when we come to these other pictures, especially this one, we can see that we still have fiery redness all through. So the arch is upper and lower, and we still have fiery redness through the upper digestive system, which makes me feel like some of the organs are probably just becoming a little more lethargic and over overworked, and um, they're burning out. The emotions and stuff are kind of burning them out. And so now it's moving down into this lower digestive system. Now, this picture actually shows what I would be questioning is a food allergy. Just it all goes together, I guess. A food irritation is more what I see like a inflammation. Um, but all of this fieriness, all of this redness is when we burn energy faster than we can consume it. My mom always used to say, you're burning the candle at both ends. When we burn the candle at both ends, and we need to slow down and we need to take the time to calm ourselves. And again, going into the left foot with that feminine energy, um, we need to slow down in order to allow that feminine energy to be present, because when we're always structured and organized and actively driven, that's all masculine energy. So we're basically telling this foot to just be quiet and go to sleep, and we're not allowing those energies to be balanced in our body. So um okay, so here's how I feel like they are all tied together. We've got some things that are shouting like this is all about a career. We've got some things that are all shouting like this is about nurturing. And then we've got the bottom that is shouting like this is all about security and moving forward and, that purpose. Um, those three things for mothers are actually really highly tied together. Our security does come from our purpose as a mother, but we also feel like we miss it when we only get to be mothers and we don't get to pursue our life dreams. Or maybe we are pursuing our life dreams and then we're stuck with the mom guilt. So I don't know which situation is true for her, but um, left foot is all about present, and we need to be present in the present. So getting her to slow down and enjoy where she's at, more self-care, helping her take life at an even pace for a longer term is gonna help her long-term health. Um, and right now, she might not be seeing anything. When I saw the first picture, I was like, "Holy cow, this person probably is seeing everything." Looking at the next 2 pictures, um, there's nothing that really stands out to me that's like, "Oh, I bet she's having a physical symptom of that." However, because of our pitting, we might be seeing, like, some upset stomach or even ulcers, um, maybe and probably more highly likely some acid reflux. Um, in the lower digestive system, we can see this kind of a little bit of inflammation, which to me would be a big warning. I can kind of see it reflecting here, and because of this little bit of puffiness, it does tell me that there may be a tendency of some food intolerances, and doesn't necessarily mean she's got any allergies, but with the food intolerances, it's the same thing as that self-care, like, let's just take a minute to calm everything down, and this is going to give us way better long-term health. But she may be already seeing some lower digestive issues, irritations, maybe some infections. I don't think so yet, but maybe digestive issues like IBS or irritable bowel. It doesn't look to me like it's to that yet, but it could be coming if she doesn't kind of get on top of this. Um, Emotionally, I feel like the lower digestive system is all about her relationships, whether that is I do have a feeling because everything is showing up on the left foot, I do have a feeling that instead of like a husband-wife relationship, we're talking more about mother to children or, yeah, that's kinda where I'm feeling like it's kind of all rotating for me around her motherhood, and I don't know this person. Maybe she's not even a mother, and if she's not, then I would have some ideas of where those emotions are coming from, but yeah, all the different areas are telling me different energy, but they all kinda come back to the same core, and it's all gonna be around that nurturing and that feminine energy, and, again, this dark spotting could be indicative of a shift, a good shift. She's becoming more grounded, and she's beginning to kinda move those energies that have kept her stuck for so long. So, those are the major things that I see on the feet. Um, a few things I'll point out to you, and if you don't know what they are and it drives you nuts, you can reach out to me. But I thought maybe it would be fun for you to kind of practice. Um, let's see. First thing, we have a little bit of callousing here. I think you're pretty aware of what the callousing means. Again, we have this dark issue in the arch on the left foot. So, that seems to me like it's in the colon. Um, so see what you can get a feel for on that. Again, it might just be the picturing, the shadowing, because I didn't see that on the original picture. It might just be some sort of a shadow in this area. So, um, and that's why hands-on observation is the very best because you can see it, you can feel the energy, you can touch it. These 2, I do feel like they're kind of residual with down here, but this one's sitting kinda right on that sigmoid colon, so I wouldn't be surprised if she's having some digestive issues, like maybe not going as regularly as she would like to be going. Um, can barely see it on this picture, but we've got some puffiness there. which I think we know we're always kind of first going to like food allergy, but coming off of this, I would actually say this has a little bit of energy of the rectum. And so uh, possibly she is constipated or maybe it's the opposite. I don't know. You can check her energies with that. And then I did mention it, but we do have some puffiness all through this area, which would be spleen. Um, and a little bit in the kidney area, but not a ton. I would actually say more of it is in the hollow area. So, yeah, just a couple things to kind of look into and see if you can. Oh, one other thing is kind of more obvious. I can tell she's laying down in this picture. She's having somebody take it for her, and she's probably holding her feet past a 90-degree angle to try to help get the picture. But the way that the right foot is bending back more than the left foot, and also because it is the right foot, that masculine energy, like being in control, I call this a gas pedal foot. And a gas pedal foot is that ball that is pushed forward, the toes are pulled back as if she's pushing on the gas. And this is a type of person that just goes and never slows down. And that energy right there reflects over here because she needs to let go of this control in order for this to balance out. So those things are kind of playing together, I think. So, um, yeah, so I hope that was informative and I don't know, hopefully I didn't talk into circles. Maybe I'm better typing it out cuz then I can make it make sense. But I hope that it was informative and that you felt like you learned from it and hopefully it was helpful. I will talk to you later.